Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. Now, you might think I've gone completely nuts, but I haven't. I'm weird, but I'm not nuts. The subject of today's video is spirit animals, what they are and what they mean. Hence the old reference to what's it called? Wizard of Oz. That's the one. Now, spirit animals are all around us. It's just up to us whether or not we believe in their power and whether we even notice them at all. When a particular animal crosses your path, it's believed that it's a sign from the universe. Animals guide us, teach us, and communicate with us if we're open enough to listen. Now, learning how to stop and become aware of each animal that crosses your path is not a hard thing to do. Have you ever noticed that there are times in your life when you keep noticing the same animal popping up again and again? Or when you see a specific, rare breed of animal? Have you ever been walking down the pavement and noticed an unusual animal in your path and thought, well, that's a bit weird? At one time or another, we've all had a unique interaction with an animal that's made us pause to wonder if there was a deeper meaning. A few weeks ago, it was kind of mid-November-ish, late November. We was out walking at the local nature place, and we saw butterflies. About half a dozen of these little brown butterflies, and it was like mid-November. It's like, wow, that's different. Don't usually see them at this time of year. And it's things like that make you kind of think. And a bit later on, we'll be doing a meditation where we will go and see what your spirit animal is. They might have a name. So yeah, that's that. So anytime an animal might cross your path in whatever situation you're in, if it's out of the ordinary, it's most likely going to be a spirit animal. Now, take time to consider the meaning behind the interaction. It may carry a deeper meaning that could shed light on an area of your life that you are questioning. Now, aside from day-to-day animals that enter our lives, if you was at home and you've got pets, if one of those pets crosses your path, unless it's a caged pet, in which case you might think, well, that's a bit weird. But say you've got dogs or cats and one of those crosses your path, that's not going to be so weird. But if you're out and about and it's a particularly striking cat that really takes your attention, that might be a sign. So it can be day-to-day animals in different situations. But aside from the day-to-day animals that are in our lives, there's also an entire world of particular spirit animals that are meant to guide us. There are countless meditations and practices to help you find which spirit animal has been guiding you and what it continues to do for you in your life today. Now, as I said, we'll do a meditation a little bit later on, but there are quizzes and all sorts out there, and I will drop a link in the group for you so that you can do one of these quizzes. The spirit animals that are assigned to us are meant to give us strength, hope, love and comfort. There are thousands of different spirit animals, ranging from insects, yes, spiders, bees, ants. They could all be your spirit animal. Reptiles, snakes, lizards, anything like that. Mammals, so from the cute and cuddly to the big and roary, and more. And the reason our world is full of spirit guides is to protect and support us on our individual journeys. When we're working on our purpose, they show up for us in full force to help carry out the purpose we were assigned to complete. Now, as a lot of you know, I am currently doing a course on the Akashic Records, and I have just done a module on life purpose and the meanings behind our life purposes and how to find out what our life purposes are through the Akashic Records. So synchronicity or what? Sometimes spirit guides visit us in our dreams, either warning of a life event that may occur soon, to show us how to be more playful or manifest our own desires. See, they can show us all kinds of different things. Now, whatever the reason may be, animals placed in your path are there for a reason, and it's up to you to stop and notice them, to witness what's going on around you and what the universe is trying to tell you. So I've got a list here of 8 common spirit animals and what they mean. Right, so you have to excuse me while I scroll this. So the butterfly, first of all, the butterfly is, when a butterfly enters your life, it's believed to be one of the most symbolic signs pertaining to transformation and profound change. So when I saw these butterflies back in mid-November, I was going through a time of transformation and change within my spiritual path. You might be moving through different life cycles and literally changing from the inside out. Death and rebirth are present here. Perhaps something in your old self is dying away, so a newer version of you can present itself. Butterflies also carry the message of being light and floating above earthly matters. Sorry, I need to scroll again and I keep losing my place. Okay, the next one I've got here is the spider. When you notice a lot of spiders coming up in your life or in your dreams, you're not having nightmares, so don't worry about that. It's just a reminder for you to create the life you want to lead. Spiders are known for creating intricate webs and patience for capturing their prey. So these guides are here to tell us when to start building the life we want. Spiders also represent the feminine and the power behind the feminine energy. If you think about it, the female spiders are the ones that give birth and raise their young and all that kind of thing. The male spiders are only there for one reason and one reason only. So if this is your guide for now, tap into your creative side and be patient with yourself. Projects, careers and achievements all take time, and it is the journey that is where the magic is, and not the end result. Like a spider, imagine yourself weaving a web that you want to create for yourself, and patiently wait for the fruits of your effort to become a reality. The next one is the crow. So anyone who knows anything about Wicca and paganism and stuff like that, or Game of Thrones, knows about the crow. Now, the crow often has quite dark symbolism and not a very good reputation. So the crow may not seem like an ideal spirit guide, but the crow actually brings a lot of magic and mysteries. Crows are known for their higher perspective, flexibility, and mostly their trickster personality types. If the crow has been coming to you, whether in an awakened state or dreams, consider your connection to life and its magic. Now, 2 or 3 mornings ago, it was Saturday or Sunday morning, because I know it was quite quiet. All I could hear when I went outside, because I go outside quite early in the morning because the cat wants to go out and she's not allowed out on her own. So all I could hear were the crows, and all I could see were the crows flying across the sky. Obviously, this is what it meant for me. So you need to consider your connection to life and its magic. Invite a heightened awareness into your life and try to shift your point of view to a higher perception to recognise the magic in everything that is happening to you and around you. Because the crow is correlated to life's magic, The crow is seen as a spirit animal of choice to those who use magic and have the power to manipulate our universe. So that's why it's so connected to Wicca, to paganism, to Druidism, to all those kinds of occult religions, if you like, for want of a better word. They're not occult, but that's kind of the feeling. The next one we have is the owl. Now, the owl is one of the more rare spirit animals. So unless you're out at night, generally you don't see an owl. Now, when we were in, where was it, Cheddar Gorge, just over a year ago now, we had an owl fly from a tree straight in front of us. It was a barn owl, I think, and it was so quiet. All we saw was this flash of sort of light and dark feathers going across. 1 minute it was in the tree, next minute it was gone. So it's not very common that you see an owl unless you go to somewhere that does falconry or owl rescue or something like that, in which case you would expect to see them, and it's not in an unusual setting. So that's why the owl is one of the rare spirit animals. So if you happen to cross paths with an owl, it's a true sign from the universe. The owl is a spirit guide that represents wisdom, deep connection and intuitive knowledge. When this guide comes to you, you might be at a time in your life where you're exploring the unknown, perhaps going through a transition or about to embark on a journey. The owl has the capacity to see beyond deceit. It has intuition and can see what others usually cannot see. When the spirit of this animal is present for you, you are able to see beyond the illusions created by our minds. So, a lot of people say reality. What we see, our minds create, which is quite true. Everything we see is our mind's perception of what is out there. And an owl as a spirit animal enables you to cut through the crap, just see the reality in the situation. So the next one is a hummingbird. And again, if you're in the UK, hummingbirds, you wouldn't see them. Even in zoos and stuff like that, you're not likely to see a hummingbird. So if you do come across one, this is definitely a sign. Hummingbirds are full of lightness, connection and speed. When hummingbirds come into your life, it's a sign of connection, playfulness and adaptability. Hummingbirds connect flowers and plants, and they are capable of amazing feats despite their tiny size. They're called hummingbirds because their wings flap so fast they make a humming sound. And they can hover in one place. They can go backwards. I think they're the only birds that can fly backwards. They can adapt to anything and fight while still having a playful and light spirit. When a hummingbird is present for you, whether for your long periods of time or just for a day, try to connect with the enjoyment of life and try not to take things so seriously. They are here to remind us to be playful, and that ultimately connection is what really matters, whether it is with loved ones or a higher power. Hummingbirds can help lift you up from negativity and show you that everything happens for a reason. Adapt to your surroundings instead of trying to control the outcomes. So, that's a really, really useful spirit animal to have, I would say. Next is the hawk. The hawk represents courage, self-awareness, truth and perspective. Hawks are revered spirit guide for their ability to see things from a higher perspective, to recognise the truth in any situation for what it is. The truth also represents the hawk also represents intuition and inner wisdom. When you see a hawk, you're being shown that the time is now for you to take an inventory of where you are in life and what your next step is. Channel the hawk's keen eye to view your life from a heightened perspective, and then tap into your inner wisdom and intuition and allow these things to guide you. You say, I don't think there's anywhere in the world that you don't see hawks in the wild. We get them here. We get sparrow hawks, we get little falcons, we get red kites, we get buzzards, we get all sorts of sort of hawk animals. And so but you don't tend to see them that much. When I lived in Nuneaton, we used to hear, I think it was a sparrow hawk or something like that, every single day. We could hear it. We never saw it. We only ever saw a Merlin hawk, I think it was, come down, take a sparrow out of the tree, land in next door garden, and it had its wings over it like that. Now that was incredible. And I think that was a sign to me about listening to my higher self. But I didn't know anything about it then. I didn't take any notice. And so it's taken me another probably 2 or 3 years to be where I am. Next one we have is the grasshopper. So when this little guy steps into your life, you're being asked to take a leap of faith. Grasshoppers are innovative and don't miss opportunities to move forward in life. Grasshoppers are considered good luck, and they are recognised as good omens. If you think about Pinocchio, he had a grasshopper as his conscience, so that was a good omen. He gave him good advice. They carry messages, which is why they are constantly moving and going on. If you are running into the grasshopper, it may be a sign that you're struggling with a decision, and it's time to make a choice and move forward confident that the outcome will be okay. In this country, we don't get grasshoppers that much. It's mainly crickets that we get. So if you do see a grasshopper, and they've got different faces, you'll have to look up the difference in their faces. They do have different faces. So if you do see a grasshopper, that's going to be quite significant. Now, eagle. In the UK, if you see an eagle, you are extremely lucky because they're quite rare. So eagles are signals. Although if you have them in dreams, they could also be your spirit animal. So any of these, if you have in a dream, that's significant, especially if they're not something you would normally see in the country that you're in. There you go. Right, so this is the last one. It's the eagle. Eagles are signals that it's time to reconnect to your spiritual path. They are here to remind us to listen to our hearts and not rely on our minds so much. If an eagle is your personal totem animal, it means that you have lightness in you, but need to stay grounded. Eagles represent light, spirit, and healing. Healing yourself so you can connect more deeply to your spiritual journey. This spirit animal carries knowledge of magic and gifts from above. Another very good one to see. So spirit animals are here to help guide us in our journeys. We are human, and it's easy to forget that there is always a universal power that is here to protect us and guide us. It doesn't matter what you believe in, what faith you are, what religion you are, whether you believe in God, the universe, a higher source, a different source, doesn't matter. There's always this universal higher power, and that's here to protect us and guide us. Everything we experience in life is a lesson, and these guides are here to remind us how to get back on track and to show us that we're loved, and to remind us to play, create, nurture and correct. As you step into your day, remain aware of your surroundings and notice if any animals cross your path. You'll be surprised just how synchronistic these encounters can be, and knowing what these animals symbolise can provide you meaningful insight and understanding in your life. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do about a 15-minute meditation. I'm just going to have a little drop of coffee because I'm getting a little bit croaky. I'm going to do a short meditation where we will go on a little journey, and hopefully you'll meet spirit guides and get to know them a little bit, and see if there's any wisdom they have to offer you. Now, the best thing to do is go into it without any expectations whatsoever of what you might see and who or what you might meet. Could be anything. So if you get yourself comfy, sit up straight with your spine nice and stacked, and reaching your crown up towards the heavens, up towards source, and your feet firmly flat on the floor. Be comfortable because we're going to be sat in this position for a few minutes. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. In and out. In, out. In and out. Each time you breathe out, notice yourself relaxing a little bit more. In, out, and your shoulders come down. Just feel that relaxation coming all the way through your body. Now open up that crown chakra. Feel it opening up and reaching up to source. And I invite in that pure golden light from source to come in and surround us and make this a sacred space and a safe space. I call on all your highest masters, your highest knowledge, your ascended masters and teachers, archangels and angels, to surround you and help you. Now, imagine that you are in a clearing. There's mountains behind you. There's a meadow to either side of you and a path through the middle. Walk along this path and notice everything that's around you. The flowers in the meadow, the sun in the sky, a few dotted white clouds. Keep walking along the path. See what you hear. You hear birds. Do you hear the wind rustling in the trees in the distance? In front of you, you see a log cabin. Notice how the cabin's built. Is it small or is it large? Is it old or is it new? Walk up to the door. Notice what the door looks like. Are the steps up to the door? Look at the handle, turn the handle and open the door. Now step into the cabin. Look around you at what the cabin looks like. See it in detail. Is there a fire? Is there a bed? What do the windows look like? Can you see out of the windows? Take a look around. You'll find it feels familiar and you don't know where from, but you feel like you've been here before. take a nice slow look around the cabin. If there's a fire, is it lit? Is it an open fire? Or is it one of these log burners with a flue going out the ceiling? Notice every detail carefully. Is there rugs on the floor? What do the floorboards look like? What do the walls look like? Look up and see what the ceiling looks like. Now, in the back, there's another door. Maybe you didn't notice it before, or maybe it was already there. Walk over to the door and open it. As you open it, you see an animal before you. This is your spirit animal. If an animal appears quickly and then disappears, and then another one appears but stays, then this will be your spirit animal. You might see more than one, in which case you're lucky and you have several spirit animals. If there are steps, walk down the steps to greet your spirit animal. Notice what they look like, how they feel, how they smell. Are they small or are they big? Ask your spirit guide, your spirit animal, if they have a name. In front of you, you see a path. Walk along the path. The path leads into a forest. Notice what kind of trees are either side of you. Your spirit animal leads the way and is leading you down this path. Notice what the ground looks like beneath you, what's either side of you. Suddenly, you come to a clearing. There's a fire in the middle, and there are logs around for you to sit on. You sit down on one of these logs, and your spirit animal stays with you. Now, ask your spirit animal what they are here to teach you. Do they have a message for you? Perhaps they carry a message from someone else. Perhaps they have something you need to learn. Just ask them, and we'll be quiet for a moment while we get any messages through. Now, ask your spirit animal if there is anything else that they have that they need to tell you. Ask them if they were sent here by anyone in particular. Ask them if they will stay with you, or are they here just for today. Okay, now the spirit animal stands and you stand with them. You move back to the path and go along it through the trees In the distance you can see the log cabin, windows glowing. Keep walking and following your spirit animal. Notice if you hear anything, the sounds from the forest, the wind. Look up. Is it dark or is it sunny? Are there clouds? What do the trees look like? Can you see any animals in the trees? Now you are back at the log cabin. Turn to your spirit guide, your spirit animal, and thank them for what they have given you, for the information and for any messages, and say goodbye. Turn and open the door to the cabin and go back inside. Notice the warmth inside the cabin. In front of you is the front door. Go over to that and open it and go back to the path where the meadow is. Walk along the meadow, noticing any sounds and sights on the way. Notice the difference to the other side of the cabin. If it was dark before, is it now light, or the other way round? Are there sunshine or is there moon? Are there clouds? Can you hear birds singing? Can you see flowers in the meadow? What can you hear? Keep walking through the meadow until you reach the space you started in. Now you're sitting back down in your chair. Feel the seat beneath you and your feet on the floor. Wiggle your toes and move your fingers and hands. Take a few deep breaths. And settle back into your physical body. When you're ready, open your eyes and come back into your space. There. Now, in the comments on this video, if you would like to drop me a note and let me know what your spirit animal was, I can tell you the meanings of them. I will in the comments. I will also put the link to where you can see it for yourself if that's what you want to do. So I hope this has been of help to you, and you've enjoyed it, and you enjoyed the meditation, and you met your spirit animal, and I hope it helps you. So for now, I will say goodbye, and I'll leave you in love and light.